These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording on Tuesday, August 6th, and we're going over the emails because we didn't get a chance to on the last pod because we had Oliver on the show. We might do this a little more regularly in the summer if we have guests because it's just easier to do the emails in a separate video so as to not disrupt the flow, I suppose, of having a guest on the show. How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing. But excited to get into RJ's emails, that's for sure.
Let's get into them then. First one from RJ. Congrats to Anton Watson. This was after he signed his two-way contract with the Celtics. Evening, folks. Hats off to the newest official member of the Boston Celtics, Anton Watson. While his career is literally all in front of him, Watson feels like a Celtic sort of player. He seems to have a knack for knowing what to do and how to do it comfortably within his available skills. I don't know if teams have their guys pair up as roommates on the road, but if they do, I kind of hope that Watson and Walsh buddy up. I think Anton's piece amount on the court is something Jordan could benefit from. That said, I'm glad y'all got some actual Celtics news about the team as opposed to the Olympics. Welcome to August. I'm still working on my look back to the 70s Celtics era. It's sort of gotten a life of its own. Be well, RJ. Shout out to Anton Watson. Glad he got the two-way.
Definitely a good signing. Very excited to see how he fares, in the G League, in spot minutes with the Celtics. Curious to see how they're going to use him in the first couple months of the season as Porzingis works his way back too. So from what we saw in the Summer League, it should be a very exciting experience for all of us.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Next one from RJ. Summer filler. Have some classic halftime filler. Morning, folks. Would you believe that there was a time when NBA fans weren't subjected to halftime chatter? There was. Back in 78, CBS ran a halftime segment of Horse. Stars matched up against each other in the classic driveway game with the usual rules. It was a 32-player round-robin single elimination tournament announced by Don Criqui with Mendy Rudolph as the referee to settle any disputes. They got good players, too. Rick Barry, Paul Westphal, JoJo White, Pete Maravich, George Gervin, and Bob McAdoo all participated. Why did they put in the time? Well, the winner of each match got a cash prize, and the champion received a grand prize of $15,000. For some perspective, the average salary was around $140K at the time, and the average price of a new single-family home in the U.S. was $55,000. You can find clips here, but here's a good second-round showdown between Larry Drew and JoJo White. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but we can take a look at what it did look like at the time.
It's probably better than what we got in the playoffs. Watching Stephen A. and the gang talk and bring on Embiid and friends so they could tamper before free agency started. This is way better than that.
The music is fun. It's very weird, but sure.
Just JoJo White in a random jersey too. So why do they just not go right to the third quarter?
I don't know. Commercials, ad space, I guess. But if they're airing this, there's no. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't do that. Cool. I don't think the NBA would ever do this now because of ads, but it's a cool concept. They should do this instead of the dunk contest. Just do horse. More fun.
Yes.
I don't care about the dunk contest.
And they could even do horse with dunks.
Sure. It's fine. Celtics trivia question. Here's a trivia question for you in the HBTC listenership. In all of NBA history, how many times have neither the Celtics nor Lakers made it to the playoffs in the same seasons? A, 11 times, B, 6 times, C, twice, D, once, E, never. The answer is in the next email. Be well, RJ. Okay, well, it's definitely not never because there were definitely some times where the Celtics made it and the Lakers didn't when they were in that bad post-Kobe era. So I want to start there because there was definitely...
No, it's both teams didn't make it.
Oh.
But
okay,
never is not the answer.
I was going to say, because that 2013-14 when Brad first started, I don't think the Lakers made it either,
They were
right?
both in the lottery. 6 and 7 picks.
There's that.
I don't think that
it had to have happened
in the 2000s.
It had to have happened in the 90s, no? Or were the Lakers making it every year? I feel like it had to have happened.
They probably did at least. My guess would be
I'd go twice.
That feels twice, but then
I'd go twice.
Like way early in the NBA.
I still think the Celtics had guys and the Lakers had guys. I'd go twice, and maybe if it's not twice, it's 6, and then that's just because it was like the Minneapolis Lakers, and they don't count anyways. Let's see. Don't read this one first. The answer is twice. Yes. Okay. The answers were 1993-94, and then 2013-14. Every other year, one of the two franchises made it to the postseason. Be well, RJ. We nailed that. It was easy. Let's go.
I would
We
have
got
thought
the
that
years
there
too.
might
We
be
said
one
90s
more.
and 13, 14. No, apparently not. Next one. How is the sausage made? Afternoon, guys. I'm a big fan of the behind the scenes stuff, so I was wondering if you ever do a segment on what goes into putting together a pod, an hour's worth of content that include graphic, video, and actual facts. Doesn't just fall into your laps. Maybe I'm an old guy, and all of what you do is 5 clicks of a mouse and the time to kick back with Jersey Mike's. That's definitely not what happens. And a beverage. Either way, it's August. You're bored. We're bored. Show us that not just any idiot can make a Celtics podcast. Show us it takes talented, devoted idiots. Be well, RJ. And if you want to do the quote Spinal Tap version, dial it up to 11. What is the Spinal Tap version? What does that mean?
Well, before we do every show, we put together a rundown and we section it off as you see. You know, we do the Celtics section, the NBA section, the rat list. Usually Twitter, Reddit, Bleacher Report, going through as many different outlets, as many different like news wires as possible to make sure we got everything is key to giving us content. Usually if something's going viral or something on Twitter, makes it a little bit easier.
PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become a part of the PrizePicks community today. With PrizePicks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 while watching Team USA rack up the gold medals this summer. You can make a PrizePicks lineup of players across basketball, soccer, tennis, golf, and more in as little as 60 seconds. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and you're locked in. PrizePicks is available in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Sam and I use PrizePicks all throughout the NBA playoffs as the Celtics were making their run. If you guys tuned into the pregame show, you saw it. We like Drew Holiday blocks. We always picked Jayson Tatum to get a dunk. That was a lock for us. And we always picked less on the opposing stars' points. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Jack does a lot of the cutting up, editing. All of the video stuff is him. So, I mean, if you want to talk about that, you go ahead. But
I mean,
really the process of it.
I can share my screen quick. I can show you what my Adobe Premiere looks like if you really want to see what it looks like to edit a video. And I can show you like the graphics and stuff. I don't think it's very exciting, but if you would like to see, I can show you. And I guess since this is just a mailbag episode, it doesn't like hurt to show, or it doesn't like waste anybody's time. So here, I'll pull up my Premiere really quick. It's just opening in the wrong window, so I have to move it over to my current monitor. Okay, hold up. All right, here. All right. Can I share a screen for Premiere? Yeah, so this is my Adobe Premiere. And so it looks like this. And so this is our podcast with Oliver, so it's not as much. But I like put the whole thing in here. I have the intro preloaded because it's the same for everyone. So that's just over here. Same thing with the outro right here. And then usually it's a lot more cuts because I have to do timestamps. So we have to mark the timestamps down on the page like this. Well, I'm not going to share, but like what time we start talking about everything, so we can put the timestamps in the description. Then I go through and cut them here, so I can add the ads in and then find the new timestamps, and then I upload it and then I put it on YouTube. I can show you what that looks like too if you'd like. If you really want to get into the details, it usually takes me like an hour ish to edit and upload and everything, the pod. But then I have to go to YouTube and do here you go. So I go here and I do title, I do description, I add our Twitter ads, I add some hashtags. I have to add all these tags manually to just related stuff about the video. And then I do the thumbnails in Canva, which is here, which is a bunch of different stuff. So I make the thumbnail here. I have the same general thing. I change the words, change the face. It's Oliver. And then these are like some old different styles of thumbnails I have. And yeah, that's about it. It takes like an hour-ish. If it's a longer pod, it'll take a little longer. If it's just a video, it'll take a little shorter. But that's if you have any other questions, I think I covered it all. I don't think I missed anything, but there you go. All right, next email. Save the date. Hey guys, just a reminder that you will have a Celtics news this coming weekend. August 10th is Peyton Pritchard's wedding. Celtics news.
Good.
Celtics news. Be well, hell, RJ.
Maybe we'll get
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be the extent of what we get. I don't know how much we're gonna get. My dog is licking my bed. Hey, stop! Are you dumb? Jesus. Next email from Joe Abbey. D. White in the Olympics. Hey guys, thanks for putting out as much content as possible. My mass av level addiction to the Celtics is definitely being tested in August, but the Olympics are going well. Good to see Tatum rebound, literally as well. Because nothing else is on. I don't have too much slander for you all. I know Sam enjoys the slander, but I wanted to comment a bit on the discourse on Derrick White. For 2 years in a row, the NBA was treated to Derrick White's incredible playoff performances, emphatic blocks, and reliability as a clutch shooter and connector. So when he was announced on the Olympic team, it just shows how casual the actual casuals are. It's not like he's some random role player. He's a starting guard for the champion Celtics. Seeing him actually being the exact same Derrick White in the Olympics for the best players in America is giving him a newfound respect, and I'm all for it. I'm interested in seeing if these guys can start to build continuity after the Olympics are over. I'm assuming JT and White will both get invited back. I assume that means. And I think the talent gap will bring JB in too, reluctantly on USAB's ends. I don't know. He just followed them on Twitter today, so I don't know. I think Bam, Booker, Hallie, and Ant are locks to come back, but I'd be interested to see who else runs out the roster. Is Mitchell too old by 28? Holmgren, Maxey, Turner, Flag. Is AD going to come back? Very curious to see exactly how USAB is going to look after the LBJ, KD, Steph, Drew, Embiid age/flame out. And if I was Grant Hill and Steve Kerr, I'd really focus on courting the next guys and identifying the next generation of USAB and getting them some continuity and maybe practicing starting the summer previously. Curious to see what you all think. And thanks again for shooting the shit with us all summer. Oh, and get fucked Embiid, LMAO. Joe. I don't think JB is going to ever play for Team USA now, unfortunately. You think
he's burned his bridges? Or you think he'll hold back out of spite?
Both. I think the relationship's severed. I think Jalen Brunson might play by then. He'll be a little on the older side, but I think he'll be fine in the age
Plus
range.
the demand will be there, I think. Especially like if he keeps up playing at a high level. Everybody loves him as it is. If he keeps it up for years and years, people are going to be like, you got to put him on. He's earned it. I think Cooper Flag is like the biggest lock out of this whole group because he's going to be somebody they see as the next generation. Whether he's actually eating significant minutes is another story. But then you'll be like, we need this guy forever, so you might as well get him in there, get him experience with playing at the international level. And he seems like a key component of the next generation.
I think Paolo will probably get on the team. He's really good.
Yes, too.
Needs that. I think Jalen Williams, low-key, could be an addition to the team. He's just really good and kind of does everything Derrick White does on a similar level. And I think they'll start targeting guys like that. Outside of that, I think you got most of the guys bang on. I think Chet's a good pick. I think Miles Turner, maybe, I don't know. Maxey, maybe, I don't know. He's a little small. I think Donovan Mitchell, probably. I'm just looking at some of the top guys. OG Anunoby, actually, I don't think he's American. I think he's from England.
He's not American.
I don't think he
Great
can do
Britain
it.
is his.
Yeah. Guys like Aaron Gordon, Jalen Suggs, Josh Hart, like these better defenders might get shouts on the team as well. But I like it. I think they should start planning. Last email of the day, my entirely subjective Jayson Tatum take. Hey, folks, still in the midst of listening to your marathon pod, but I had to put this comment to email while it's fresh in my mind. I think JT is a world-class player. I don't care if he's first, third, or 10th best in the NBA. The Celtics don't win a championship without him, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. Yes, I know a lot of people think I hate JT, but I don't. I get frustrated with this game at times is all. And last season, I noticed my frustration level with him went down as the season progressed. Here's where we get to the, quote, entirely subjective part, so don't try to find a stat to look it up. It seemed to me as we got deeper into the season and the playoffs, he took fewer and fewer dribble threes. Yes, I agree.
Yes.
You know the shot type of me, and as those disappeared from a shot selection, so did my frustrations with JT. Okay, I still wanted to see better finishing through contact, but that's another rant. One question I wish someone would ask him is, when you wind up taking those threes, what are you seeing on the court that leads you to go, this is the best shot we have? I'm not an NBA player, and so I don't know how he's processing stuff, but I'd love to learn more. Anyways, fun pod with Oliver. Be well, RJ, and awake too damn early on the West Coast again. Yeah, you sent this at 10 a.m.,
7
which is
a.m.
7 a.m. your
West.
time, which Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. I remember my dad taking me to Fenway Park as a kid, getting to watch David Ortiz and Dustin Pedroia sitting in the Green Monster and taking in all there is to love about the iconic ballpark. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Taking a look at my Game Time app right now, I see plenty of great deals to watch my favorite sports teams and my favorite tickets to Noah Khan. You guys know that's my favorite artist. I even used it while in Las Vegas for Summer League to get tickets to a women's basketball game. Some of my favorite features in the Game Time app include letting me see what the price is going to be with fees included. It makes so much easier to take a look and see what the actual price I'm going to pay is. Also, you get to see exactly where you are sitting. It's a great way to know exactly the experience you're going to get. I also love the fact that you can get great last-minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, or anything else. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And he was in the middle of listening to the pod, so Jesus Christ. If I had to guess, and I don't actually know the answer, what he probably sees is, okay, I have a weak defender on me. They're gonna either live with this or collapse well enough or rotate, or there's not enough time. Like either that, or he's just, I want to try to get in a rhythm. Like it's one of those two things, and you don't have to like that he does it, but I'm just guessing that that's his rationale in the moment.
I'm sure it has something to do with the mashups. I think that's my favorite theory on it. He likes to do it with big guys on him, which is the one I have the biggest problem with. Because we saw as the playoffs went on, as RJ mentioned, he starts going to the rim. He starts seeing these slow-footed guys on him, and he's like, "That's enough. I'm not settling anymore. I'm going to get right to the basket." And that's where he thrived. Now, could he be trying to get in a rhythm sometimes? Yeah, for sure. But I almost feel like with other stars, especially somebody like Steph Curry will get going. I've heard people say this because he starts and gets a couple easy baskets, like gets some layups. Like he doesn't have to force his rhythm. His rhythm comes from seeing the ball go in a few times on cuts, on easy dribble drives, just situations where he doesn't have to do too much to get his shot.
I agree and I understand, but I don't think Tatum's problem is rhythm in general. I think his problem is just he can't make threes to save his life on a consistent basis. And so I get working inside out, but that only works if it actually helps with threes, and it just didn't. It just never did for him throughout the entire season because he was always streaky, and even in that big streak, I don't know. Just be less streaky. But I'm saying I don't think he was taking those instead of trying to get easy baskets. I think he was like, shit, the easy baskets aren't working. Let me see if I have it tonight from three. And sometimes that went too far, and he took a few too many of them. But I still think I don't think the mistake is he's taking the threes instead of the easy ones. I bet in his mind, he's like, okay, the easy ones weren't working. Let me take a step back and see if I have it tonight. And after that, the response should be, okay, I don't have it tonight. Let me not take them. But that wasn't always the connection that was made in the spring. And he just kept trying to force him a couple times. I will also say, as we've mentioned throughout the entire summer, which we won't actually know the answer to, wouldn't surprise me if he's either A, less adept at taking those threes next year because the pressure's off his back, or B, some of them start going in and or he's taking different threes next year because the pressure's off his back. Like it could just be a mental thing. And now that he's got this weight off his back of a championship, that he's calmed down and more fine playing whatever way that is necessary instead of trying to force some stuff up. So I'm curious to see what Tatum looks like next year, because I do think it'll be a little bit different from what we've seen in years past, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm in on the theory. The Olympics haven't looked great so far for that confidence, the rust coming off from the three-point line. But his role with the Celtics is far different than it is from Team USA. If you want to talk about rhythm, this is an example of like clearly he's not really used to playing this way. It's affecting him. He's not really making threes. He's not taking a lot of threes. So it's tough to get going when the volume's so low. When he's back with the Celtics, I would be curious to see if he takes a step up. And really becomes more of a dominant force. Oliver mentioned to us yesterday, like the superpower thing is real. Tatum is a great player. He's a smart player for the most part, but he isn't like a superpower guy, and that's fine. He doesn't have to be. Not everyone is going to be, but that's the next step for him is like, I trust him with my life, which you trust him, but like closing minutes, it's not like, oh yeah, I feel super comfortable, which is okay. Like the Celtics are built so you don't really have to do that.
And my hot take is, don't think he's ever going to be that. I don't
That's
think he
fine.
will ever be
He
that.
doesn't
Which
have
again, like you said, is fine, and he's still. I stand on it. I think he's the third best player in the league, but I don't know if he'll ever get to that point. I think the best thing for Tatum is abandoning those threes for drives and adding 1 or 2 more assists to his regular season averages. And I think if he can do that, then people will respect him more, even though I've never personally cared as much about the threes because by and large, they didn't translate to losses. And we've gone over the stats a million times of even if Tatum is missing them, Tatum takes more threes, Celtics win. Tatum takes fewer threes, Celtics lose. But I get that they're frustrating to watch and they're still bad shots objectively. So cutting them out for drives, I think would be cool too. But anyways, thank y'all for the emails. A reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. Send us your thoughts, all that good stuff. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave a like, hit the bell. You won't miss any of our daily uploads if you do so. We're coming at you with content at 5 a.m. daily, whether it's full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, mailbags, other videos in between. During season, we have game recaps after every game too. So you want to stay tuned for that. Hit the bell. You won't miss any of it. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and game recaps are there. If you follow, they go right to your feed. You can leave us a 5-star review. If you do so, we would appreciate that very much. It would help us grow quite a bit on those platforms. You can find us via email. You saw all the emails today, so get in on the fun. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Send in your thoughts on the team, Team USA, what you're looking for next season, what you're excited about with the rookies, your rat list. It really doesn't matter. We love to answer your guys' questions. hbtcpod@gmail.com, again, is the address. You can find our socials at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the pod. Our streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack's Money NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. It's at Fritz.
Tic-tac-toe. Come on.